Welcome to How Good Is. Today we're gonna have a very sad episode because this is Holy Mami 2. And the reason why this is sad is because this unit is extremely good, but there's basically nothing new about this unit. So let's just go down to this, okay? What kind of character is she? Well, first off, if you look at her sprite, it's just a new sprite, okay? So they've redrawn her sprite, and if you look at the live 2D, which I don't have here, actually I do have it. If you look at the live 2D, it's actually exactly the same live 2D as a normal Holy Mami. In fact, they've actually put it on the same page here on the wiki, but they've just redrawn the face. That's basically it. If you put these like next to each other, and when you look at what is different, it's just the face. They've redrawn the face. So they've redrawn the face, they've done a new sprite. What else is new? Nothing. That's actually the only things that are new about this unit. Everything else is either reused or copy-pasted from the anime. For example, transformation sequence, that's just a sequence from the anime that is copy-pasted into the game. The Magia, that's just a sequence from the anime that's copy-pasted into the game. The Doppel, oh yeah, no, that's a sequence that has been copy-pasted from the anime. So yeah, there's actually nothing new here. This is probably the cheapest unit that has ever been there to make, and it's just a straight-up great unit. Gameplay-wise. Gameplay-wise, this is probably the best Forest Maga unit in the game, and that just makes me really sad. It's like lowest amount of effort to highest amount of power in a unit. So right off the bat, I will tell you, if you want a strong unit, roll for her. If you're a simp for Mami, roll for her. Other than that, you don't know where your integrities lie, right? Where's your integrity? However, let's actually go on about the long answer to the question, how good is Holy Mami, because we need to actually, Holy Mami 2, sorry, we need to actually go into the details. So 2 Exilis, 2 Blastis. At least she doesn't have 3 Exilis, because that would be a little bit too powerful, so we're gonna have to be okay with just 2 Exilis for now. She has a personal which is pretty decent. It's actually pretty decent. Nothing amazingly great, but yeah, it's actually totally fine. You can totally use this. Her attack, as you would expect, is extremely high. I think before SE, this is actually the highest attack in the game, but only by a little bit. And with SE, I think it might also still be the highest attack in the game. I'm not actually quite sure. But the thing is, that doesn't really matter too much, because even the other attackers are just right behind that. So that's not really that big of a difference between these anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. So the connect is basically the same as the Holy Mami connect, like the normal one. It has damage increase, damage up versus enemies, inflict your stars, aimlets, and it also has chance to fog on attack 100%. Now, Addict Killer, which is what this effect is called, is fine, right? Against enemies where that only have one tile and you inflict an ailment with the first hit, and then you have 47.5% bonus damage to this. Might as well have made it 50 or 45, I don't know. That's a round number. That's a lot of bonus damage, right? You have a lot of bonus damage, but once again, and I keep bringing this up, against bosses that occupy multiple tiles, only one tile will ever count as inflicted with a status ailment at the same time, so you're only getting the bonus damage against one tile, and of course you also have to actually get the enemy with an ailment afflicted with which you can fog them with this. But overall, I think Addict Killer is still way too clunky, and even with really high damage numbers, it's probably not do too much, mostly because, like I said, the multi-tile bosses downside is just a bit too much. That's still a good connect. This is still overall a good connect. However, the most important part about her, because she's basically a Magia character, it doesn't say this. It says she's attack type and stuff, but she's straight up a Magia character. She's a better Magia character than basically every other Magia character, at least for Forest type, by far. So yeah, she's treat her as if she's like a Magia character, not an attack character. So her Magia, of course, as you would expect in her Magia 2, is attribute strength and damage, because of course she is, because she's Kimochi bait, because there's the water type Kimochi is coming up soon, and with her being forest type, look at that, attribute strength and damage, amazing. She's going to be the number 1 DPS, amazing. She also gives herself forest attribute attacker, because forest attribute, like general element attack up, is the best buff for making sure you do the most amount of DPS against Kimochi. So yeah, who would have guessed? And the second most important buff against Kimochi is Magia damage up. Oh my god, she gets both. Amazing. Who cares that she only gives it to herself, because she's going to be the damage dealer. She's not going to be played around with other damage dealers. She's going to be the main damage dealer, and therefore it's actually totally okay that she actually only gives these buffs to herself, because yeah, she's going to have the best 2 buffs for Kimochi with an attribute strength and damage. She's gonna be top DPS, whoop-de-doo. She also has an anti-debuff, which, whatever, and she gives herself regenerate MP, 64 MP, and this is before MP bonuses. like percentage MP up, like for example 10% MP up from her personal, amazing. And also removes debuffs from self. Like, sure, you didn't even need the anti-debuff and remove debuffs themselves, but it's like you get it as a bonus. And the regenerate MP is actually just laughably strong. It's actually just laughably overpowered. I'm not even gonna talk about the normal Magia because you're gonna be doubling every single time anyway. Like, so what does it even matter, right? Then you get a Spirit Enhancement where you have some MP boost, some normal, some over 100 as you would usually expect. But the thing is, I don't think these bonuses like MP gain up over 100 probably won't even happen that often, because you're probably just gonna shoot yourself straight into 150 anyway. Okay, but what does she actually have that's important? She has 2 added killers for a total of 35%, which once again is not gonna be that important, but I guess she has it. You can fuck on attack, whoop do you fucking do. I'm gonna ignore this for now and just assume I'm gonna act like this doesn't exist right here. Okay, let's move on. Burn on attack. Okay, she has 2 ways of inflicting ailments, so if you really want to play added killer for some reason, don't do it though. But if you really wanted to play around added killer, then look at that. You have 2 ways of inflicting it with attack. One is 50, the other is 20%. And there's 2 turns and 3 turns, which is also like the best ailment. Like, even outside of just being the best Maga character, she also has the best ailment infliction with attacks of any character in the game, which is also kind of absurd. But it's not strong, so since ailments aren't strong, it doesn't really matter. It also gives Maga damage up to self for 3 turns, because it fucking does, and we generate MP, because of course we are gonna have more MP, hoop-de-doop-de-doo. And yeah, we generate 70 MP at the start of a battle. Like, what the fuck? Like, this happens on the end of the first turn, so you start round 2 with 70 MP, even if you do nothing, even if she doesn't even get a single disc, even if you don't press her SE active, she just gets 70. Okay, let's say you do press her SE active, she gets 79 MP. 79 MP? You know how fucking much that is? Imagine you have just a personal active, okay? You just have a personal, which you don't need to be a whale to have the personal, you just get the personal by having the unit, which is 10% MP gain up, so you already have 79 and then another 10% on top of that. Let's round that up, let's say we have, that's 8. It's like 87 fucking MP for doing nothing, for actually doing nothing. You just have her, she just exists and has 87 MP on turn 2. Are we being fucking real here, guys? Okay, so she just has that. Let's say on turn 1 she gets an Excel Puella combo. Not even a Puella combo, just say she gets just any Excel combo on turn 1. Then she already has Magia. Let's say she gets like 1 or 2 Excel discs. And in fact, some people are doing this in mirrors where you use Madoka and Iroha's Excel draw on turn 1, because they're SE active. And then you get like 2 Excel discs for Holy Mami 2. And then she just has round 2 double. And you just have round 2 double. And you took 2 Excel discs. And you just have round 2 double. Isn't that fun? Isn't that actually fun? And guess what? If you do this in PvE and you use a Magia 2 like a double, guess what? You then regenerate 64 plus of course the however many percent of MP gain up you have. So you probably just get right back to more doubles. Isn't this unit fun? Isn't this unit brokenly overpowered? Isn't it fun how brokenly overpowered this unit is for so little effort? Wow, amazing. Okay, well, let's say you don't care about this unit. What about the Memoria? Oh god, it's actually good. It gives 25% attack up at 2235 max attack, which is pretty decent. It is a limited Memoria, sadly. And the most important part is it has chance to ignore damage card on top of the big attack up you get from it. So that's gonna be pretty darn fucking good in many cases. For example, in ranked mirrors or in tournament mirrors, a lot of people use damage cut for one of their units all the time. There's so many units out there that use damage cut, like Sudachi, like Harigi Mitama, some people use that, like any kind of Yachiko unit uses that. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of damage cuts in the game that are being used in PvP, and guess what? You can just randomly ignore it and just one-shot them anyway if you struggle with winning. So if you struggle with winning, get this, and it's like, wow, 3 wins. Oh, wow, amazing. And the 3-star doesn't really matter, like, who cares about the 3-star? But yeah, this is pretty high power. This is pretty high power for both Kimochi and in some cases for ranked mirrors. So I'm sad. But at the same time, hey, if you now is the time. If you have hoarded some rolls and you don't care about the next unit after this, which is the Naruto and Mikage double unit for Christmas, we don't know what that unit is going to be like gameplay wise, but I assume it's also going to be like a Magia support kind of character. Yeah, probably like Magia support focus as well, probably Dark type. Who knows? Or maybe you can just wait until that gets released. But if you've been hoarding rolls for a really strong character, here it is. Here's a really strong character. And it kind of plays yourself. Like, you don't need really strong Memoria to basically be guaranteed like a really fast Magia and Doppel, which makes it really friendly to players on fresh accounts as well. That was that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.